Do you think being a perfectionist is a good thing? Well, it's actually the reason that you're not rich yet. And I'm going to show you how to fix your perfectionism ASAP so you can finally get free and start making a whole hell of a lot more money. Let's get into it.
So why is perfectionism the reason I'm not rich yet?
Yeah, it's not what most people think it is, right? So check this out. One of the biggest leaks that entrepreneurs have, the thing that stops us from accomplishing our goals, is the time delay from thinking of an idea. Oh man, wouldn't it be cool if this happened, right? To the actual implementation of that idea. So why do we have that time delay? Well, the habit that turns fast ideas into slow or no money and that kills the speed more than anything else is perfectionism. Look at this dude. He's trying to get things done, but he's got this perfectionism ball and chain happening here, right? So we all think we have high standards, right? We want to do as best job as we have, that we can to put out things in the marketplace that are super awesome, right? But your high standards may actually be built off of fear, and fear itself is the opposite energy that we need to make a ton of money, okay? And perfectionism is this particularly nasty form of fear that gets in the way of entrepreneurs hitting their goals.
That sounds like some great results, but what are some signs that I'm a perfectionist?
Yeah, so a lot of people miss this, right? Again, they think they have high standards, but they don't realize that they're actually like this massive perfectionist and they're the biggest drag in their business. Here are some signs. You have an idea for a new ad, let's say, for example. Instead of launching it today or this week, you spend 3 weeks tweaking the copy, making sure that every little detail is absolutely perfect. You move the font, right? You change the headline up and down and back and forth 2 pixels, changing it back and forth. And it takes you forever to launch it, okay? Here's another example. Okay, you have an idea for a new funnel. Instead of getting it live as quickly as possible, you spend 12 months tweaking everything, right? And during this time, who's seen your funnel? How many customers did you get from it? How many eyeballs? How many new fans did you get? 0, which means no money came in because you were messing around with your funnel. Here's another sign, okay? You have an idea for a piece of content or you're writing something, right? Okay, instead of hitting publish as quickly as possible, once it's at a pretty good space, you spend another 50, 60 hours doing this incredible like 14,000 rewrites, right? Or 11 times like it says here because it's quote unquote not right yet, right? But in the meantime, like nobody in the marketplace has actually seen it. Here's another thing, okay? You're working on things that if you're honest with yourself, your customers will never actually notice, right? And the reality is like your customers aren't, you're not going to increase your conversion rate by 1,000% because you use Helvetica Bold as opposed to Helvetica Regular on the 18th line on your sales page, something that like, is below the fold and nobody's going to see anyways, right? Like your customers don't care. They're not paying attention to that kind of stuff. So if you see yourself doing any of these things, just like fixating on these hyper details that have really nothing to do with money, that's how you know you're a perfectionist. And here's the really fascinating part about this, okay? We all have these kind of blind spots when it comes to ourselves or business, things that we just don't see. But perfectionism is a form of self-deception. In many ways, it's this unintentional arrogance that happens, right? We think we know what's best. We think we know the right amount of pixels. We think we know exactly what colors things should be, right? But the me, we type thing, right? That's self-focused. Whereas instead, remember, like I'm not buying my own product. The market buys my own products. So the market's opinion is the only thing that counts, right? The market decides, not you and your perfectionism. What would 4 times more productivity or more output actually look like inside your business? What could it do for you if you release this false sense of perfectionism that has to exist inside your business, right? What if you had 4 times more campaigns that were profitable out in the marketplace? What if you had 4 times more funnels that could bring new customers in, 4 times more profitable ads, 4 times more, offers that you put on the marketplace? This could be absolute life-changing without having this ego drain that's happening, this ball and chain of perfectionism. Now, let me give you an overall rule of thumb, a shortcut that'll even get you even further away from this perfectionism trap you're dealing with right now, okay? The overall rule of thumb of getting rich in business is the more offers, the more assets, the more things you ship out in the marketplace, the more money you're going to make. You do not get rich in business without making more offers and running lots of ad creatives. Now check this out, okay? Let's say that each campaign you make is worth $100,000 of revenue. Okay, and that's low for a lot of businesses. And when I'm talking about a campaign, I'm talking about like, a full product, a full funnel, upsells, downsells, emails, ads, et cetera, et cetera. And let's say you got rid of your perfectionism. You now realize it's an illusion. And as a result of that, you can ship 4 times more of that per year. And you multiply that by 10 years. So we got 40 more opportunities to make $100,000. Well, if I did my maths correctly, that is $4 million more that you could make. Now, what happens if your offers are actually worth $500,000? Well, that's $20 million, right? So there's a bunch of lost revenue that people have, and it's hidden. It's not obvious until you actually break down the math like this, that happens from just fixating on and wasting a bunch of time because of perfectionism. So, big thing I need you to understand right now. Perfectionism is a form of arrogance and self-deception, okay? You do not decide how many pixels are the best, right? Whether it should be light blue or dark blue, right? The market's opinion is the only thing that matters, okay? Very simply put, if you want to get rich in business, you put more things out there. And the way to do that is to fix this nasty habit of perfectionism ASAP. Now, once you kill your perfectionism, you start working on it, there's another problem you're going to need to fix immediately, okay? And most business owners, they basically have this hidden fortune inside their business, and they never unlock it because they don't know actually what it is. And there's one move that does unlock this hidden fortune. I'll actually show you what it is in the next video. So go ahead and click over to it now.